As many business owners know, marketing is a vital activity, yet it's often the last thing we make time for. Welcome to Content Catalyst. In this episode, and it's going to be a juicy one, so grab a pen and paper, I'm going to chat to you about how do we tell people what we do, stay top of mind, build credibility when you have a business to run. We prioritize our clients' work or busy making products over juggling the task of recording a podcast, sending an email, or posting on social media. Hands up, I'm guilty of this. Then we find ourselves saying, business is quiet and I wish I had more customers. So how do we make marketing content that connects while running a business? Well, most importantly, know who you're talking to so you don't waste time making content that doesn't connect. I see this with business owners that aren't getting results. They give up making content or become sporadic. So the next thing is to allocate time to take action. Just like if you owned a cafe, you'd make sure that you've got coffee beans in the coffee machine. Well, the same thing goes when you are creating marketing content, because you need to show up consistently if people are going to get to know you. And to do that, it requires you to schedule in time regularly to promote your business. So here are some hacks to make content on the go. So the first one is daily connection. Do Instagram stories first thing in the morning over your coffee before the distractions of the day begins. Now, stories are a great way to create conversation with your existing audience. The next one is to go live. Now, why I love going live is because you don't have to edit. You can use a streaming platform if you're at your desk and share it across many platforms. Otherwise, just pick up your phone and talk on the run. This saves so much time, and I also like to choose a day where you're most likely to do it. So Thursday, no chance, but Mondays for me are great. The next thing is use a scheduler. Because I'm a video girl, making Canva posts are probably my least favorite thing to do. However, it does push me out of my, content lazy zone, and it helps me also to reach Google Business and also LinkedIn, as well as my Facebook and Instagram. So when you use a scheduler, you can, post out on all of those platforms. So I have a rotating template that I use, so I can literally go in, upload a photo, update the heading, the headline, and the caption. And this is a task that you can do in bed watching, reality TV show that doesn't take a lot of brain energy. And if I can get at least 1 or 2 weeks in advance, that's great. I know a lot of people can smash out 1 or 2 months at a time. So using templates, I have email templates, I've got social media tile templates, I've got landing pages, and they're all ready to go. So all I have to do is go in and input the information and they're ready to go. So that is the benefit of definitely using templates. It just makes it so much easier, and it's also a good job if you want to outsource as well. The next thing is allocate some deep focus time. Now dedicate an afternoon or a day a week to like I said, deep focus on marketing activities. Interestingly, evidence shows people usually take longer to complete tasks and make more mistakes when they're multitasking. So if you're chopping and changing throughout the day, you think I'll get to it later, this could bring you unstuck. So if you schedule it into your calendar, like I like to do Monday afternoons, this is when I focus on outlining my hero piece of content for the week that I can then push out with all my content. I'll also actually allocate some little windows of content creation opportunities. So I usually do like between 8 and 9 in the morning. I can, outline my email, for example. Between 6 and 7 is also another time where I find that I work really well in. Now, even just by allocating 30 minutes a day, that can add up to 10 hours a month. So it's a great way to just, tick off the list the things that you never get around to doing, like updating your website or scheduling out your social media. And just remember, with this, done is better than perfect. Still time any way you can, because as I mentioned, it all adds up. The next thing is workflow. Have systems and templates to shortcut your workflow. Now, there's so many AI and tech platforms that you can use these days to save you so much time and do many of the things as well. Now, we all work differently based on our personality type. So if you're a yellow dot kind of person, you can most likely sit there and write 4 blogs or emails in a row and schedule them all out for a month. Yet if you're a pink dot, purple stars kind of person, you'll probably do your best work right before the deadline And in fact, the thought of making 5 email newsletters in a row would suck the living creative juice out of you. Either way you work, you just need a workflow that complements your work style so you get it done without doing your head in. I am that pink dot, purple stars kind of person, and I tend to write my blogs and do my podcast weekly, and I'll often record my reels on the day. Now, that doesn't work for everybody, and it probably drives some people insane, but that is how I work, and I understand that, and I know that there are certain things that I do to support that. So it's important for me to have a themed month. So I have my planner, and I will sketch out all my ideas. I've also got my content categories, and that way I know Mondays I'm making strategy style content. Tuesday I do tech tips. Wednesdays I might record my podcast. So if I know those days and they're themed out, it makes it so much easier for my workflow. Now, the other thing is having a content library of resources and of images, written text, and videos. When you have that, it makes it so much easier to pull out content as you go as well. And there are things that you can outsource and there are things that you have to do yourself. So doing talking head videos is something that you would have to do yourself, or creating daily stories, but doing things like Canva posts to push out and schedule, that might be something that you can outsource once you've got your system in place. So have your content planner created and then you can hand it off, because they know where everything is organized in your content library and the type of content to make each week. All right, so brings me to the next thing is, do you have a content marketing strategy? So there are 3 things to consider if you want to create content that connects. Number 1 is know your goals. Number 2 is your audience. Number 3, your story. So let's dive into that and I'll explain a little bit more. So number 1 is goals. Know your outcomes. What do you want to achieve? So mine this year was credibility and community. I wanted to build reach. I wanted to elevate my authority and position my thought leadership. So to do that, I need to share educational content and also engaging, interacting information. So I focus on long form content, and that comes in the form of literally what I'm doing now. I'll create a video of my podcast so that way I can upload it onto YouTube. I've got a podcast as an MP3. I then take that information of my outline and I can create an email and blog, and then also shorts for my daily socials, and also set up my topics for the week as well. Where last year I was focusing on building my social media following, so I was focusing on short form content. So your goals could be something like this. I want to build my LinkedIn connections by 30%. I want to nurture existing audience with daily stories. I want to grow my mailing list by 500%. I want to hit 5,000 podcast downloads. It's really about knowing what you want to achieve. If you put in the effort, then it helps to have those measurable goals so you can track your results, and then you know what content resonates and then what you should be making more of. Now, you might be thinking, how do I go about creating a weekly blog, podcast, emails, daily social media? Well, we start with a hero piece of content and then we break that down. Look, I'm not going to go into too much of that today, but I will put a link to a previous podcast episode explaining this more. Once we understand what our goals are, then we have to get crystal clear on who we're talking to, because if you don't, you can waste a lot of time sharing, Canva tiles on Instagram with no results. So number 2 in your content marketing strategy is audience. Have you defined your ideal person? Now, I worked in radio in my earlier years, and the radio stations I worked with often had 2 licenses. So one station targeting 18 to 40-year-olds, and then the other station targeted 45 plus. And that was really how most people divided their audience up. However, I would talk to my clients and I would ask them, who are you targeting? And their response was, well, everybody. Now, when you target everyone, we talk to no one. So rather than a shotgun approach on both stations where your message is diluted, I would help the clients by getting clear on their one person. I would go through this exercise where we would create their ideal customer, and I still use this to this day. So in marketing, we call this an avatar or a customer persona. Now, while you might have many different customers that buy or use your product or service, we're just going to pick one for now. Now, we want to understand their habits, their routines, their lifestyle. And then when you begin to understand their challenges and pain points, then you can start to create content that resonates with them. So with that in mind, when you start talking directly to them about their pain points and their challenges and then offering your solutions, they then start to feel like that you're talking directly to them, that you really understand them. And having that one person in mind is really a powerful way, especially when you're making talking head videos, which is so important to establish your credibility. It helps by having that one person in mind. It helps you visualize that one person and have that conversation directly with them rather than saying, hey guys, which is literally you talking to everyone, not that one person. So who are you talking to? Let's define your avatar. Now, you might want to grab some paper to write this down or come back to this later. Okay, let's describe your ideal client. Now, just one person. Now, this could be a previous client of yours, or it could be a fictitious one. So just write down that person who you're thinking of and start with their name. Give them a name, profile their age, their job, their family life. Are they married? Do they have kids? Are they on their second marriage? What lifestyle? Describe their lifestyle. Do they do yoga? Do they run their kids to, sport on Saturdays? Really go into as much detail as you can. Now, the more detail that you go into, the better the outcome that you will have on knowing who your person is. Now, you're probably thinking, what has this got to do with me selling, wine or accommodation or skincare? This has everything to do with where they hang out, and their habits and their lifestyles really uncovers what motivates them to take action. So write down as much detail as you can. Now, if you're a visual person, you can keep a photo of them. So when you are doing talking head videos, sometimes you can put a photo of them on the camera lens so you really can visualize that person, that's who you're helping. The other thing that you can do is go into Canva and create a persona. Just, get some images that reflect that person, of their job, their lifestyle, their family, all those things. Now, I do have a free avatar template that you can download on my website. It's kind of like a vision board, if you think of it like that. It really helps to bring the person to life, and I'll put a link in the show notes for that. Okay, so we've established the goals, the audience. Now, step 3 is the story. Now, it's what I call a vivid story, and I'll explain. So V is for visualize. So I want you to visualize that person and their pain point. Put yourself in their shoes of what they're thinking and what they're feeling. I is for impact, or the consequences if they don't take action. V is for value. So the value is your solutions, the services or products that you provide. And then I is for implement. So when they take action, what's the transformation that happens? So they go from this to that. And finally, D is for desire. What is the result that they get afterwards when they've worked with you? So how would this apply let's find an example. Let's say if I had a skincare range. Now, using this vivid story method, let's break it down. So the avatar is, her name is Sarah. She's 25. She's single. She lives alone. She works in an office. She's got no kids. And in fact, she really goes out and spends her weekends watching Netflix and probably doom scrolling on TikTok. Visual, so V, it's her pain. She's depressed and she doesn't go out because she has bad acne. That's her problem. She has bad acne. The impact or the consequences is if she doesn't take action and clear up her skin, then she'll have scarring and she'll even become more reclusive. The value is your solution. So the solution that you have is you have a skincare treatment that helps clear up acne. I is the transformation. So Sarah goes from having outbreaks and feeling embarrassed to having clear skin and confidence. Now you're probably thinking, well, isn't that the result? clear skin and confidence. No. The desire or the result is she gets a boyfriend because she feels more social and starts dating. That's the result. That's the end result that happens as the transformation of clearing up her skin and feeling more confident. So I begin by writing down up to 10 each of those points. So if you've got a pen and paper, you can start by writing down 10 pain points that you visualize your avatar having. So once you've done that, I like to do 10. I work with people where we have 20. I think I've got 23 on my board. So you can go as many as you like. But if you start with 10, that gives you a really good foundation for having lots of content to use across all your platforms. So then once you look at their pain points, look at the impact. So what is it if they don't take action? So list down 10 of those things. Then we go to value. What is the service or solution that you provide? And then we list those down. And then we look at 10 transformations. So after they've worked with you, so what is the before and after experience when they implement your solution or service or product? And finally, list the desired results that they will get. And remember, that's different to the solution. So what's the end outcome that happens after they've done all those things? Now, this exercise becomes the foundation for all your content ideas. So your subject lines for your emails, your hooks for your social media, your website copy, your podcasts, your blogs, everything all comes from this one foundation when you understand the vivid story and your avatar. The vivid story does tell us so much more about our audience, and it really does help us understand them further. So I've put together a content marketing strategy template so you can nut all of this out with your avatar and vivid story. So if you'd like a free copy, head to my website, which is debszabo.com, and then /content, and you can download that free content marketing template there. Now, doing this alone, I understand, can be a little bit daunting, and your head might be spinning if this is the first time you've ever heard of this. So it's going to be one of those things that will probably get pushed back to the back burner and you'll get around to doing it one day. But if you would like some more support with your content marketing so you know what to make and connect with your audience, then check out Content Catalyst. It's a marketing hub and a member program designed to help you master a topic and then take action. So each month we learn in a masterclass, then the following week we head into our workroom to implement so you get results. Now, this is all done live and online with me because marketing, tech and AI is changing so quickly, and I want you to get all the latest updated information and give you the opportunity also to ask questions and get unstuck. So don't worry if you can't watch the live sessions because you can always catch the replays if you do. Now, we do these on Mondays. So Mondays are Marketing Mondays for a reason. It's so you designate time to focus and prioritize what will move the needle in your business, because it's easy to get busy and distracted, right? So I've designed the 12 months so far of our momentum calendar, and that'll get updated each year. But each month we make progress and we deep dive a topic, and then the next month we'll then follow on and bring what you've learnt the month before into play. So you get one masterclass and one workroom for that topic. But because I know that video is so impactful for our business to build credibility and to create conversation, I'm also doing an editing workroom each month so you can hone your skills and create engaging content. Now, our first session kicks off Monday, the 8th of April, and that month or April month, we will be focusing on creating a game plan, so a content marketing strategy. So things that we've covered in today's podcast will be covered in depth in our April session. So if you want to know more about Content Catalyst, head to my website and you can join today. So while we've laid the foundation today of your marketing content, in the next episode, we're going to build our framework to create content categories, and that way you'll never run out of content ideas. So until the next episode, thanks for joining me and happy planning.